Hey everyone, Stacks here, checking out Venom number 19, another Absolute Carnage tie-in. And I gotta tell you, I feel like the Absolute Carnage event itself, the main books, are absolutely amazing. But I feel like all the tie-ins to it are completely out of order, and this one's no different. In the Absolute Carnage main storyline, we're way past this. But in the Venom storyline, we're at the point where the Maker was infested by the Life Foundation symbiotes. I said infested, I meant infected, but you know what I mean. Anyways, at this point, the Thing, Spider-Man, Wolverine, Captain America all showed up at the very last second to save Dylan Brock and Normie Osborn. And in a moment that's actually pretty funny, Captain America gets nailed to the ground. Thing reaches over, grabs Spider-Man and says, "Let's give him the old fastball special." Spider-Man's like, "What are you doing? Wolverine is standing right there." Well, he slings him. And at the same time, the Maker picks up Captain America and chucks him, and they just collide in the air, just knocking each other out. And what had me in stitches on this one is the look on Wolverine's face here, like, what did you just do? I'm sitting here looking at it again and laughing again. It's just like, what the... From there, we jump to Normie and Dylan, and they run back into Rex's facility, and they go in there, and they're in there to try to find Sleeper and release him to get some help. Well, when they release him, Sleeper straight up asks him, "Look, are you ready?" And Dylan's like, "Am I ready for what?" He's like, "Look, man, my brother Carnage, he's hunting Host across the city as we speak. Hunting the one who gave him life. Many have fallen and more soon will. Your brother Eddie, he's alone in this fight against him. He will not survive without our help. We must help our family, Dylan." Well, Dylan doesn't even hesitate. He sticks his hand out there, and Sleeper's sitting there saying, "Soon it's not going to be you and me. It's just going to be us. It's going to be we." But before they can bond, Sleeper freaks out and just starts screaming. Dylan starts talking in tongues, and symbiote matter gets blasted all over the place. And Sleeper's just like, "Get away from me!" And Sleeper, trying to get his composure, is like, "Your mind, I never seen anything like that. Dylan, what are you?" And Dylan is kind of freaking out. He says, I don't know." Back at the fight with the Maker, the four that we had fighting are still going, but they're at the end of their rope. And Wolverine takes a big shot from the Maker and is sitting back trying to recover. Cap is bent over a rock, and the Maker just keeps coming. That is until he's sitting there doing his victory speech, and something hits him right in the middle of the chest and then explodes all over the place. And you get this shot of Hawkeye riding on the hood of his Jeep and just crashing the thing right into him like a boss. And while you may get some style points for that, it doesn't even slow the Maker down. He hops right back up, but fortunately Dylan comes out, and he's got Sleeper in the form of this giant wolf. And Dylan's not playing. He just tells him, "Sleeper, kill." And Sleeper goes at him. And the Maker is kind of confused in all this because Sleeper's not really biting him or tearing into him or anything. He's just coating him in something, and he doesn't know what it is. That is until Hawkeye lights up, and Dylan tells him that it's napalm. And Dylan learned about the effectiveness of napalm because he was hanging out in Rex's armor room and just reading some stuff that was sitting around from Vietnam. And by the looks of it, there ain't any symbiotes left. I mean, there's just a smoking pile of whatever's left. However, we do get kind of a glimpse of something sneaking down the alleyway, and it looks like it's probably the Maker. Back at the warehouse, everybody's come back together. They figured out how to fix the machine enough to where they're comfortable putting Normie in there. Bruce Banner is healed back up from, I think, having his spine ripped out by Carnage. He definitely ripped Venom off. And Donny Cates Online hinted that it didn't show him not pulling the spine out of Bruce Banner. But if he did pull the spine out of Bruce Banner would have been fine. He would have ended up healing. All that to say, they got the Codex extraction device back together. And you get a pretty cool moment between Spidey and Ben Dillon and Dylan saying, "Hey, look, you did a good today, kid, and your brother would have been proud of you." From there, Dylan goes and sits down beside Sleeper, and we find out that Sleeper kind of reprimands him. He says, "Don't ever do that again. Controlling a living thing against its will is unethical." And he kind of cuts in. He says, "I'm sorry, I had to do something, and I kind of kicked in like I didn't even know I could." So yeah, Dylan was actually controlling Sleeper. He was somehow mentally controlling Sleeper during this fight. He's the one that came with the idea to turn him to a wolf. He's the one that came up with the idea to use the napalm. He did all of that. Finally, after some discussion, Sleeper asked Dylan, why a dog? And he's like, I don't know. I'm not even a dog person. And with that comment, Sleeper transforms into a cat, which makes him an evil being. I'm kidding, of course. Just keep an eye on him if you don't mind. And right after Sleeper transforms, who would walk in but Eddie Brock walks in. And like that, Dylan pops up and goes hugs what he thinks, of course, is his brother. We know that Eddie is his father, and all of that going on, it's a lot, and it's a really cool moment. But in his head at the moment, Sleeper is asking Dylan, when are we going to tell your brother what you are? So before I get into all my speculation, book, of course, written by Donny Cates. Iban Coello was on the art, and I honestly thought the art was really good. I did think the last scene with Venom, come on, not a lot of people can draw Venom well, and Venom's face looked a little bit jacked up, but overall I thought the book was really well done. And with all respect to the artist, I mean, Ryan Stegman right now is just killing it, and we're getting spoiled over in the Absolute Carnage main run, and we got spoiled earlier with him doing Venom earlier, last year. The story is really good, even though it hasn't focused on Venom, and he's the guy, he's the title character, but it's been focusing on Dylan for the last about 3 issues. I haven't minded too much. It's because it's interesting to see what's happening with this kid who he doesn't realize this guy's his father. His brother is his father. All this stuff that's going on. It's going to be interesting later when they finally do have to flesh this out. I've been having a little fun online saying that the upcoming Venom Island storyline is actually going to be Venom going to Krakoa, but what if instead it's Dylan is not, if this has nothing to do with symbiotes, he's actually a mutant that can control symbiotes. I'm just having fun with it now. But anyways, it looks like Dylan's going to be more than just Eddie's kid going forward, so I'm really interested to see what happens with that. I do still think that the tie-ins and the timing of them, it just seems really disjointed. This series, this event was rolled out really, really unclean, it feels like. It wasn't well planned, in my opinion. And you can't really say that, because over with House of X, Powers of X, the reason things rolled out in non-sequential order is it added to some of the drama of the story. Over here, it's just, you already know that, they're going to defeat the Maker. You already know because they show up in Absolute Carnage at Rex's warehouse. So I don't know. I'm just griping about it now. But even with all that said, this book was still a good book. I still enjoyed it. It was fun. The art was good. And I'm interested to see what happens with Dylan going forward. That being said, guys, hey, I really appreciate it if you take the time to hit that subscribe button, leave a comment down below, and hit that like button, guys. Make sure the bell, you hit that for notifications, or you probably won't unless you just happen to go to your subscriptions and look and see who's put out a video lately. Every watch, everything you do helps grow the channel, guys. I sincerely appreciate it. Guys, that's all I got. Real Comic Stacks, out.